Well, greetings, everyone. Greetings, everyone. My name
Hello.
is, yay, my name is Terra Chavez. I work with a New Zealand-based company called Melora, and thank you again for attending to learn more about the magic of Manuka.
Thank you
Today,
so much for being here.
yes, thank you. Today, we're going to explore what makes Manuka so special and different than regular honey, the unique properties and usage of Manuka, as well as the science and benefits of both Manuka honey and Manuka oil. Then we'll leave time for questions at the end. So starting with what's so special about Manuka? Well, this story begins with the Maori people. The Maori people are the first ones that discovered Manuka honey. They have a rich cultural heritage that leads back to over 1,000 years ago. They are lovers of the land, lovers of nature, as well as lovers of Manuka honey for its nutritional value and healing benefits. They used it for all ailments, internally and externally, from joint pain to digestive issues, sore throats, insomnia, burns, cuts, wounds, all of the different things you could imagine that people go through living in the bush there of New Zealand. So they really taught us a lot about what the healing benefits are by example. Also, what's special about Manuka is that it's very rare. It only grows in the coastal, very remote coastal regions, mainly in New Zealand. And where it grows there, it will flower, and it flowers for approximately about 3 weeks a year. This is very much dependent on weather conditions. For example, if a storm comes the first week of the flowering season, the bees will only have that time to produce the honey, and that will be the production for the entire year. So that is a very important point of the fact that it is so rare and that you can't find it in many places in the world at all. Another thing that makes Manuka honey so special is its original healing properties, and really is what deciphers what makes Manuka honey different than regular honey. Matter of fact, it was our founders and a team of scientists in New Zealand who also wanted to find out this answer, because they've been seeing the benefits used for years, but they didn't have a scientific reason to why Manuka honey is different than regular honey. And after their research, they found that Manuka honey has unique active compounds that no other honey has in the world in high levels. And one of those most important ones is methylglyoxal. So we will use the abbreviation MGO. MGO is the secret ingredient, so to speak, of Manuka honey. It's a naturally occurring compound that gives Manuka its superior antimicrobial, antioxidant, and anti-inflammatory properties. Along with this, it is also naturally antibacterial. Clinical studies have found that Manuka can actively eradicate more than 250 strains of bacteria, even including antibiotic-resistant strains. So these unique properties of Manuka is what I like to call the magic of Manuka. For example, if you were to take a prescriptive antibiotic, it would kill the bad bacteria as well as the good bacteria. The issue with that is bad bacteria is usually much more resilient, especially depending on the state of the condition where it started. So somebody might have something internally or externally, let's just say a rash, it'll go away, but then it comes back. Then they go to Marlene's for help and they say, hey, it went away, but something comes back. And that's much, much different than Manuka honey. Manuka honey, the higher the MGO, the higher the antibacterial properties of it. However, with nature, its whole goal, and with Manuka honey, is to bring balance to the system. So after it takes down the bad bacteria, it actually can decipher between bad and good bacteria. And it's prebiotic. So it's naturally going to feed the beneficial bacteria, helping to balance the microbiome, which is the foundation for health. So that's why internally and externally, we can get so much benefits, because all of our body, from our internal system to our skin, even our oral care, is just a microbiome with trillions of bacteria. And we just really want to achieve that balance of the good and bad bacteria in there to make sure that we have that foundation for health. So let's get into a little bit more about what that means. So when we're looking at different, anything with Manuka honey on it, the MGO is the minimum you need to know about what you want to purchase. And I often use the example of SPF. If you were to buy a sunscreen, and the SPF was 2, and you went to the beach, let's say, you're like, oh, sunscreen doesn't work, because you would need something like an SPF 30 or even higher. Very similar to Manuka. You need to know what that percentage is, because that's what you're paying for, but it's also going to tell the potency of that Manuka. Matter of fact, the research that we had done before led to the hospitals now, once we had the scientific information, using Manuka honey and as a wound dressing. So if you go internationally to a trauma center anywhere for a cut, burn, or any type of wound for that matter, they'll be using a Manuka honey wound dressing, which is basically Manuka honey with an MGO of 525, just to give some reference there. So that's why knowing the MGO is very, very important. So you know what you need and what's right for you at that certain time. So in every single one of our products, again, I work with Melora, you'll see the MGO on every single one of those products, so you know that the potency you're getting. And when we say high levels of MGO, what we normally are referring to is MGOs over 100 internally and over 250 externally, even higher. So that's, again, why you need to know your MGO, so that you know that it's working in the right way for you. And we'll get more into that in a little bit. And then on the Manuka honey, you might also see another label, and definitely on ours, with the UMF. The UMF is, you can think of MGO as the measure, and with UMF, you can think of that as the guarantee. And UMF stands for unique Manuka factor. It's a reference to all of the compounds, the active compounds, including the methyl glyoxyl. Elizabeth, if you wouldn't mind going to slide 5. So UMF is the guarantee. All UMF brands have the same guarantee, and that they're traceable, meaning that on every single one of the Manuka honeys with a UMF, you'll see a batch number on there, and you can actually trace this product all the way back to the hive from which it was made. It also means that it's pure. It guarantees that it's packed and sealed in New Zealand, that it's never been adulterated, that it's true to label, that all the information on the front here is accurate, that I can test this in any country where it's been revered for years, maybe in Asia or India or here in the US, and it's all going to be true to label, that we're not just a company just putting some information on, because it's science. So you want that third-party verification. It also guarantees that it's monofloral, which is hugely important. Monofloral means that the bee only made the honey from Manuka flowers. Multiflorals honeys are great when you're getting them from your local farmer's market or from Marlene's, but with Manuka honey, that's the last thing you want. The reason being is because you are paying for Manuka honey for its active compounds. So the last thing you want is another honey to come and basically water it down, so to speak. So you want it to be that pure monofloral to be getting the most active amount of ingredients there within the product that you're purchasing. So that's a little bit about MGO and UMF. There are some other ratings out there. Most New Zealand companies have band together to at least put the MGO on there. And then for the companies that are doing UMF, you can go to the UMF website. They will guarantee and verify all the companies that are utilizing it. So MGO, again, you can think of as the measure, and UMF is basically the guarantee. It does the guesswork for our buyers, for our customers, and really make sure that it's pure and authentic and the potency is accurate. All right, let's go to the next slide here. All right, so with that, Manuka honey is one of the nature's most potent superfoods. So just like the Maori people, it can be used for sore throats, to boost the immune system, great around this time of year especially, help fight off illness, improve digestion, help with gastric ulcers, treat wounds, cuts, and ulcers, increase energy, promote oral health, help combat breakouts and blemishes, moisturize and exfoliate sensitive skin. So oral health, let's talk about that one just for a moment, just as a distinction. You would never put sugar, something immune compromising, like on your teeth or your cavity, and actually causing plaque. But again, getting back to the microbiome, the oral microbiome is very similar. So Manuka honey helps to bring down those bad bacteria that cause plaque and that result in other kind of dental issues, and bring up the beneficial bacteria to help even balance the microbiome of the mouth, which is then connected to the microbiome of the gut, which is then connected to your overall health, skin, etc. All these little microbiomes are all connected in their own synergistic way. So science has been rapidly unlocking what makes this one of the most unique and beneficial honeys in the world. So now to choose what type of honey for these different type of immune boosting activities. Next slide, please. So we have a few different options, so of potencies for different reasons. So the UMF8 or the 185 MGO is for everyday immune building, getting the family off sugars, something that's immune compromising, getting on something that's immune building instead. So it's your everyday. So when we said we refer to levels normally above 100, Melora starts their collection at 185 with that UMF8. So it's almost double that. And that's just in the everyday immune building one. We then move up to the UMF10, which has an MGO of 265. This is shown to give extra support to the immunity as well as digestive health. Also, if you're more immune compromised or someone in your house is sick, this might be a time to bump it up to 10. This is also the level you can start using it externally. Matter of fact, there's a bit of a cult favorite going on right now with using pure Manuka honey as a facial mask. And then it's loaded with the polyphenols and enzymes and antioxidants. It's basically the highest end mask you can do without any of the fillers or preservatives. It is a bit sticky, I'll warn you, and not so cell phone friendly, but it is wonderful on the skin. As why I used in hospitals, which gets us to the MGO 525 and the UMF 15. And this is what is considered medical, and I just call it the first aid kit. No one's got the time to be sick, and I know when I am, I'm like, just give me the best you got. Or if something topical like a deep cut or scrape or burn, then you could put the Manuka Honey 15 directly on that. If you're using it medicinally, you could just take a spoon in the morning and a spoon at night. But with Manuka honey, you can use it in any way that you would use any type of sweetener. In your tea, in your coffee, granola, yogurt, by itself, whatever. I often get the question of, can it ever be in heat? Manuka honey is very resilient. You would have to boil the heck out of it to lose its active compounds, which still would only minimize them. I don't suggest doing that necessarily, but if you're just putting it in your tea or coffee, then it's fine. And the UMF8, if you're going to use it for baking, then the UMF8 would be perfect for that. Also, the price is going to be correlated to the potency. So for cooking and things like in my salad dressings, the whole family, even the nieces and nephews love, the UMF8 is always the secret ingredient in that formula. All right, next slide. So looking at Manuka honey on the external benefits, it is excellent for all parts of skincare. It's actually nature's miracle skin protector. It's coveted for its unusual potent antimicrobial, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory properties. It helps to fight acne. It eliminates impurities and excels at the healing process while reducing redness and inflammation. A natural humectant, it attracts and retains moisture to nourish, hydrate, and soften the skin. And due to that paragraph right there, makes Manuka honey beneficial for all skin types. And then it's going to nurture and heal those with normal to dry skin. And then it's going to help clarify and correct those with normal to oily skin and even into acneic skin. So it's great for all skin. And also the fact that it's humectant, it's going to bring more water content to the skin. So even those with normal skin that can become dull, it'll just keep the skin much more hydrated and refreshed. So we know that it has high level of methylglyoxal. And within our skincare range at Melora, we use that 525, the same level that's used internationally in hospitals. And again, you want to get one that's around over 250 when you're looking at the using it externally. It's naturally prebiotic, which can actually be even more beneficial than probiotic, in that when we're balancing the microbiome, you have trillions of bacteria. And with probiotics, we're guessing, probably about 1 billion of those as a great gamble. But with prebiotics, they organically know how to feed the beneficial bacteria that needs to be fed to balance the microbiome, very unique to your own microbiome. It has a wide range of flavonoids and polyphenols, which act as antioxidants to neutralize free radical damage and stimulate cellular regeneration. With that, free radical damage, so this is as scientific as I'll get on this part, is basically a free radical is a negatively charged electron, and it steals from the healthy one. And that keeps going on to make a free radical cascade. And that's how we get the breaking down of the cellular structure. And what antioxidants do is they neutralize that cell, that free radical cell, from ever occurring that cascade, which is going to reduce any type of aging process, as well as build the health of your skin. So it contains about 20 times the number of individual natural components of that of any other honey. And also great for any kinds of bacterias, antibiotic resistance, antifungal, antimicrobial, or other things that could be occurring on the skin. So after we've done all of this research, our founder wanted to take it even a step farther. So now we know about Manuka honey and all the benefits and the science of it. But taking it one step further back is because it comes from the Manuka super plant. So after planting over 9 million Manuka trees, we actually got top of the leaderboard for that. We sustainably harvested some of the twigs. We got New Zealand spring water, distilled it, and then we tested that oil. What's neat is that we own all our own farms. So with that, the twigs that we used ended up being mulch for our farms, and the water would flow into them for irrigation. So it's a complete no waste distillation process that ensures we're able to utilize even more of the Manuka super plant in different ways and with no waste. And so after we did this testing and we had this beautiful Manuka oil, sure enough, the super plant did not disappoint. And we found that the Manuka oil also had superior benefits. So the Manuka oil is great for so many things. And again, for all skin types, for those with normal or dry, for cellular repair, for past UV or scarring damage, for those with normal combination to help clarify, as well as even combating the bacteria that causes acne. So leaving the skin clean, clear, and beautiful. Next slide, please. So just like our Manuka honey that we test and find the levels of MGO, we also test our Manuka oil. And with Manuka oil, that is graded with by the beta triketones, Manuka beta triketones. So again, we'll use an abbreviation, and that's going to be MBTK. The Manuka oil used in our products have an MBTK of 20 plus. That is the most potent and premium Manuka oil in the world. And again, Manuka oil is very rare in that it's only made with we are the only people that make it at New Zealand. And so now we have a combination of this amazing Manuka honey with high MGO. We are from the East Cape of New Zealand, which I forgot to add in, very important. That's where the most potent Manuka grows, and why we're able to supply such high potency in all of our products at such a great price is because of that access. It's kind of like the example of why trees grow so well in the Pacific Northwest. It's the volcanic soil, the air, the atmosphere, all of those things. And similarly, that goes with our Manuka oil. So we have the Manuka honey and oil, both great for skincare, as well as great for all skin types, men and women. So that's when, and along with our history of knowing that the wound care was created because of our research, and that it's used in hospital as even more scientific proof and studies how well Manuka works internally, but externally as well too. So from that, Melora has created a whole line of Manuka products, with Manuka honey obviously being our base here. We have at Marlene's from the 185 to the 525. We also have the squeeze bottles of the everyday ones, and that difference of those is just that it's a 12 ounce and it's in a squeeze bottle. I know a squeeze bottle is not rocket science, but when it comes to honey, you don't have to get any fingers or spoons involved. Save yourself a peanut butter spoon from getting in there. It makes it really easy to use and apply in your day, in your tea, coffee, yogurt, whatever. And it's also a larger size. So we have the Manuka honey, and then we have delivery systems for the Manuka super plant, which is in our simple but effective skincare regimen. This is a beautiful line that is also available at Marlene's. And I will quickly go through this. So starting with our Manuka face wash. So Manuka face wash is, it basically takes care of that whole cleansing umbrella. And what I mean by cleansing umbrella is sometimes people use a double cleanse or an exfoliant. They might use an oil-based one to get the debris off or makeup, and then more a pore refining gel base to really deep clean the skin, and maybe an exfoliant and so forth. And for men, it might be a pre-shave, a wash, an aftershave. Well, this one product is going to take care of that whole cleansing umbrella. Being that we have all the different molecular structures of the honey as well as the oil, it is in a gel base, so it's going to very deeply clean, and it's going to very gently exfoliate due to the natural enzymes in Manuka honey, as well as a bit of salicylic acid naturally occurring. So it's not going to be aggressive like, well, we'd never do a scrub on the face. And alpha hydroxys work for some skin types, but can also be too aggressive or overused for many skin types as well too. So this will give a nice, clean, yet gentle exfoliant. For men, especially those that get the ingrown hairs, that can be very uncomfortable, this will help alleviate that, really help clean the pores, eliminate acne or buildup that can cause those issues, and also give a nice lather enough to be able to use for the wash. Then we move on to our hero product. This is our Manuka face oil. And I highly suggest next time you're in Marlene's, you take a tester and you get a drop and put it on your hand, because this oil is different than almost any oil that I've used. And I've been selling personal care for about 25 years. And one of the main reasons is its low molecular structure. And what I mean by that is it deeply penetrates into the skin. Normally, a lot of brands, when they make a face oil, it's a very large molecular structure and used only for those with dry skin conditions where the skin doesn't produce enough oil. This one is different in that low molecular structure is going to penetrate deep within the skin, feel light on the skin, but very effective. And again, great for all skin types. So it's in a base of a jojoba, which is great for the skin as well as the hair. It has EFAs in it from the cannabis. I kind of call it the super serum for these reasons, because it then has your C serum from rose hips, and that's naturally derived from the rose hips. It gives it that beautiful color versus a synthetic one, which we would never use. It has black cumin seed in it, which is your B vitamin serum, also your antioxidant serum, very powerful. And this one features our Manuka oil, again, with that MBTK 20 to really balance the skin, heal the skin, any past scarring, UV damage, and also to clarify it, and then lighten and brighten the skin with some skin-loving essential oils such as neroli, a little bit of lavender, geranium, grapefruit. And this combination, which is basically only 13 skin-loving, all-natural oils, is fabulous. In your hair, you could add it to your scalp for scalp buildup or to balance your scalp microbiome. Cuticles and nails, a few droppers in the bathtub is absolutely lovely. So I highly suggest that you try this one when you are in Marlene. Just one drop, and you will hopefully understand what I'm talking about a little bit more, feeling the difference. Also, Manuka is kind of in the same family as tea tree, but more of a distant relative, in that the aromatherapy is a lot more woodsy and almost floral. Some of the wood benefits have been known to be grounding, but inspiring. And just a great ingredient in general. But again, once you experience it for yourself, you'll have more of your own testimony, which is really what counts. And then next is our moisturize. So the regimen is very simple. We cleanse, treat, moisturize. And the treatment's going to set the stage for our moisturizer. In both our face wash and in our moisturizer, Manuka honey is the third ingredient. So it's pure product. These are both in glass and a glass dropper, as well as a glass jar for your moisturizer. Sustainability is a big part of our brand as well too. So you don't need a lot of product, so that'll even bring more value. So on that same hand that you took the drop of the oil, I'm going to put a small amount of the moisturizer to lock all of that goodness in, keep the skin hydrated and moisturize, as well as having the humectant qualities continue to bring water content in the skin so it doesn't dry out throughout the day. And it's also lightweight enough to absorb rapidly, but nourishing enough to really feel the moisturized feeling of the skin and really feel hydrated and nourished. So that is, except for a sunscreen in the morning, it's a very basic 3-step process to really get the benefits of the Manuka honey as well as the oil in a simple, easy to use regimen, which I think a lot of people are appreciating these days, because sometimes when you ask, like, oh, do you want to buy 5 serums? And then like, oh, well, how do I use them? And then there's a whole different night regimen. It becomes confusing to certain customers. I know a lot of men have said, Tara, keep it simple. And so do you need all those other products? Maybe so. But at least with this simple regimen, you've helped to balance your microbiome, which will actually make other products work better in the long run as well, too. For our body. So we have just kind of a one-hit wonder here. We're not meant to be the skincare line that sells tons of body lotions. A lot of brands do that wonderfully. But ours, again, is just for the healing benefits of Manuka and to help balance the microbiome. So you would start, obviously, in the shower with our body wash, but I actually like to talk about our body lotion first, because often when people gravitate towards our body lotion, they've heard about the magic of Manuka and the healing powers of Manuka. So our body lotion truly is that. It is in a base of healing aloe vera. So a lot of them are in bases of water, but this one has aloe vera because the body, we really want to look in the healing aspect. So you can think of for a burn, a cut, a nick, a wound, dry skin, acne, all of the different things that the body could, different skin conditions that can arise, having that base of aloe vera. Then we have in it also the MGO 525, as well as the Manuka with the MBTK 20. And it's lightweight, absorbs into the skin nice, but continues to protect the skin throughout the day. So you can use it, that's the skincare rule of thumb. They always say, try and apply a body lotion within around 2 minutes of getting out of the shower. You can do that, but you can apply it anytime and or reapply if needed. I know I got a bug bite when we just launched it, and I was like, oh, it felt instantly the anti-inflammatory properties of Manuka helped take it down. In a few hours, I played it a little bit more. And by the next day, I was quite shocked with how well it worked for me. So then let's get on to the body wash. So why I talk about the body lotion first is because with skincare, when it comes to facial care, sometimes people will up their game a little bit more. But when it comes to the body care, what people use in the shower might not be. It's like, oh, I just use water, or, my roommate's soap, we'll just say ocean spray, something that might be very harsh or fragrant, or most all conventional bar soaps for that matter, the way that are made. Skincare is a science. It's happy around that 4.5-ish range. But when you're using a bar soap, that's going to be like in that 7 to 9, way too alkaline for the gentle acid mantle. So pretty much the last thing you want to use, and also can cause and or exacerbate some of the problems that the person may be having. So that's why it's kind of more of a customer service tip to always ask, what are you using in the shower? And obviously, I would suggest the Manuka Body and Honey Wash. But if you're only going to buy one product that day, or if you only want to buy one product that day, just making sure that you're switching to something gentler while you're using the lotion, so it can really do its thing, and or just maybe just continue using whatever harsh ingredient you're using for a while until you see what kind of benefits you can have from not using it. So the body wash is great. You do get some of the aromatherapy from it, which is excellent in the morning time or whenever you shower or bath. And it will actually, if you massage it into the skin for 1 or 2 minutes, when you get out of the shower, your skin will be soft to the touch, even before the lotion. That's how well it works. It's also excellent for shaving, for cleaning. So from anyone with dry skin to acne to bacne to rashes to skin prone diseases, all of that. And again, it's just a very powerful working, works very well. And you get a light amount of aromatherapy. We don't add extra essential oils to our products to make them flowery, or everything that's used in it is just for the efficacy of the product. So you'll get that plant power of the Manuka. You'll be smelling that throughout using any of our products, which again is very grounding and inspiring. But also, for me, it's really grown on me. Everyone has their own personal experience with aromatherapy and the smell of things, but it's been really lovely. So that is our simple but effective regimen. Again, for the face, cleanse, treat, moisturize, face wash, face oil, face moisturizer. And then for the body, it's just body wash and body lotion. Lastly, as a delivery system for our Manuka honey, because unfortunately we can't have tea rituals all the time, or maybe we're driving in our car or we're at work or whatever it may be, we have just launched our Manuka honey lozenges. They also have that MGO 525. And we put this in a very simple ingredient list because, again, just a delivery for our Manuka. So we have an organic base, and then Manuka is the third ingredient in the product. We then add New Zealand propolis, which is a powerful antioxidant, and New Zealand produces some of the best propolis in the world. But it also gives a drop of instant numbing effect. So some instant relief there along with the Manuka honey, just in case you're having a sore throat or cough and you need some instant relief. Then it either has the lemon flavor, which is associated with vitamin C, or the elderberry and strawberry, which is also associated with throat health. And then a drop of echinacea, just in case that sore throat is actually something a little bit more than that. And also so that you can take these throughout the year to help build your immunity and wellness. And again, the oral microbiome connected to the gut, connected to the whole health of the body, is a great way to be able to try and utilize Manuka when you're on the go and or at home or when needed for sore throats, coughs, dry mouth, all of those different things. So that is a little run of what the magic of Manuka provides, as well as a little bit about our company, Melora, and the Manuka project that we are trying to do. And with our mission is just to share these benefits of Manuka through innovation, through science, and through sustainable partnerships with retailers like Marlene's, who's been a great supporter of us, and with communities like yours that are also interested in learning some of the natural remedies that might work great for them, their family, pets, etc. So now I wanted to open it up to see if there are any questions or if I can further elaborate on any of the points made here today.
Don't be shy, folks. Feel free to enter them in the chat box. Going to move some of these. There we are. And feel free to unmute yourselves to our lovely presentator. Her camera is going to be the only one that's going to be on the recording itself for YouTube. So feel free. This is an interactive platform. I thought it was very interesting. I've always seen those, it was the UMF and then the MFO.
MGO.
And okay, thank you. I always wondered what that meant on the package. So I'm so grateful you were able to relay that information, because I was like, I don't know what that means, but this number is more. So it must mean that it's like has like a different step up with the Manuka goodness. Oh,
Yeah. So the
Joe,
UMF does incorporate the MGO, but it just incorporates all of the active compounds, including the MGO. That's why the number is different, because it's incorporating the leptospirin, the DHA, the also all the combination of the active compounds together. So that's why the number, because with all these different kind of compounds, they put it into one number. And so the UMF range is usually from about UMF 5 to about UMF 20 is, I think, one of the highest ones I've seen.
very cool. Thank you. Oh,
yeah, thank you.
Joanne said, how long have these products been around? That's actually a great question.
Yes, it is. Well, Manuka honey's been around for centuries, but our brand Melora was introduced to US in 2020. So I just say it's been out since 2022. Our honey. And then we just launched this skincare line and the lozenges last summer. So still pretty new to the market.
Oh, it's still a sweet treat on the market.
Exactly.
And then Julie says, if the honey is sticky, how would you apply it to a wound?
That's a great question. So with that, if you have a spatula or whatever, just dip it into your Manuka honey or use your squeeze bottle, and you can put a small amount on the wound and then just apply a Band-Aid on top of that. Because that's kind of also why our face care was born. I mean, our skincare was born, because it is, it's kind of hard to walk around with just Manuka honey around through the day. So if I do have it, I would put a Band-Aid on it. For the facial, if you want to do the Manuka honey facial, you can, again, just apply it here or to a spatula, put it on your hand. Do be careful for your hairline, though, because it is very sticky. Just put the hair in a bat mask or in a cap there. And then, again, don't fall asleep or talk to a cell phone. And you can leave it on as long as you want, because it's just restorative and healing. It doesn't have a time. It just even, 15 minutes to 20 minutes, you'll feel a difference. But I mean, when you rinse it off, but you can leave it on as long as you'd like. and then just wash it off. That'll also show how good our face wash works because it is sticky, but it is a great alternative for those who are looking for a all natural face mask.
Oh, perfect.
Great question.
Thank you. And just so you folks know, it is on sale this month. So definitely go to either store location, either in our supplements department for the lovely jarred Manuka for, applying of the wounds, or in your food, or the face products are in our body care section.
Great.
And there's samples of the um, body care line. So definitely, uh, just like our lovely presenter said, um, try some out, see how you feel. Your body will thank you.
Great. Well, I thank you all for attending today. I hope you learned something new. And if you have any questions at all, please reach out to Elizabeth and we'll try and work on getting those questions answered for you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.